boards. Nothing where I have to raise money. I'm, doing that on my own right now. It's just a startup operation. You have 2 buttons, or I guess knobs, an innie and an outie. So one of them is balance and the other one is volume. I don't know which is which. I just screw around with them all until they.
Yeah.
Tell me when to put it on, and I'll.
We probably have 30 minutes.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Okay.
It's nice and warm today. It was cold in here last night.
Yeah, it does feel good here.
Next week we have Brian Berger.
Oh, Brian's great.
I cannot remember the name of his consulting company.
I can't either.
We'll just call him.
Prior today, an arbitrator ordered Qualcomm to repay $815 million to BlackBerry, money that company paid their royalties to Qualcomm technology.
Is that company still around?
BlackBerry, right? RIM, right? Is it RIM?
I got no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I had 2 candidates for an interview today, and one of them just got another job last night and said she's not coming today. I'm glad I'm not driving to Sonoma then.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm gonna be out there for one interview.
Showtime in 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Let's check.
5:30. Got it, Jerry.
It's gonna be like Christmas today because I got stuff coming from Amazon.
Should I put this lower or just right there a second?
That's good.
You want to get a little bit closer to it probably though.
Yeah, definitely. Good bring it closer to you.
There you go.
So.
Test, 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 test.
Check, check. 1, 2, 3.
Check, check, test. 1, 2, 3. How do you turn this down?
The knobs.
Where it is? Sorry.
To the right of where you plug in.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test.
I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really loud all of a sudden. It blasted in.
At 8, cranks up. Because that's when their shows start. Do you have a slew of people listening in?
You can't really hear much.
I know.
Sorry.
No. Do you have a slew of people listening in?
Just some people, yeah, I think some more family members. Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, thanks for putting it on LinkedIn. So I shared it. So
Okay.
we'll see. I know you don't think I am, but I'm kind of the shy type, so I didn't want to like call her. But it's fine. You have to listen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one thing I'm definitely passionate about what I do, so I love talking about it. So thank you for having
That'll
me.
come out.
Good.
In the interview, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If I've been doing it 24 years without, considering changing careers, then I must be either crazy or passionate about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Every couple weeks I think about becoming a cosmetologist, but
Oh, well, you know what you can do? You can make that a hobby. I was just listening to a book on this, actually. Make that your hobby, and then eventually, if your hobby becomes
Yeah.
skill dev, you could quit your day job and become a
Full-time cosmetologist.
Maybe to the movie stars, Katie. Come
yeah,
on.
it just gets stressful,
This job? Yeah.
It's like constant, fast-paced all the time, always have to be available,
Mhm.
building business, working on the business.
Yeah.
Like, it's so quick. I never get a break. I never get a downtime
That's what
in
vacations are for.
hiring. But then it's not like audit or tax where you can plan your client load around things. I mean, if you're in the middle of a job hiring and then you
Yeah.
leave, it's like, who's gonna finish negotiating the deal?
Mm.
So it's kind of a nightmare. And I didn't realize that when I got into this business, that it was basically like you didn't have any flexibility over your own life. You're kind of at the mercy of everyone else every day,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is the one downside of it. I love it, but I don't really like that part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flexibility of my schedule is what I really like about my job.
Yeah, me too. It's fabulous for family, and
Yeah.
I'm taking 2 weeks off in July for the first time in a long time.
Oh,
And
nice.
I cannot wait.
You guys gonna go anywhere?
Probably some short trips. We took a big vacation in February, so
Where'd
we
you
have
go?
a new puppy, so
Oh.
we'll be with a new puppy.
What'd you do in February?
Disney cruise to the Caribbean.
Oh, I wonder.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think the Disney cruises are the best ones.
If you have kids. if you have under 8 years old, and our kids are a little too old, so.
Yeah.
I for the little ones,
Are we on?
yeah.
Nope, sorry. The music.
So during commercial breaks, do we take these off? Okay.
Because you can't, it's hard to carry on a conversation.
No.
You can do hold one on, one off.
Yeah, there you go.
That's one option too. One minute.
All right. I love the acoustics in here with
I know.
the walls.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's a good studio.
Most restaurants should do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually talk and hear each other.
I know.
So you guys have regulars that listen every weekend.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to build up the audience
Nice.
more and more.
Are there call-in people or?
They could.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen, but good.
Interesting.
Good morning. Welcome to Beyond the Numbers on Money 105.5.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is a couple days before tax day. A week to go. I am slammed. Katie and I were talking, and our guests who will introduce in a moment. We're talking a little bit earlier about seasonality, and my job. This is a busy season, which all ends next Wednesday. So next Wednesday morning, I'll be in a much different frame of mind. But Katie was saying her job, unfortunately, is not as
There are no seasons in hiring.
Yeah, because at least in a good economy, people are continuing to hire.
Absolutely.
But with taxes, one of the things that we keep talking about is tax reform. And then one of the things that the president said is that he's definitely moving forward with tax reform. But I heard this morning he was on Fox Business News, and he said that they want to get healthcare taken care of first as a way to pay for tax reform. So as I'm working with my clients to try to do estimates for this year, I keep telling everyone rates are going to go down. I know they're going to go down. We keep talking about it. So now it's just a matter of when that's going to happen. They got to get healthcare passed first, and then we can talk about what the tax rates are going to look like for 2017. Although I do believe they're going to go down. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Our guest, Shannon Zajec with Employers Select Insurance Services, here this morning can shed a little bit more light on the healthcare cost
Absolutely.
situation, since her specialty is benefits.
Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us today. How you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good.
This is my quiet time actually because we have seasonality during the end of the year. We have open enrollment season.
Right.
So this is as we're ramping up for July. It's getting a little bit quieter right now, which is good.
So what tell us about your company and what you guys do.
So we are an employee benefits consulting firm located in Rockland, and we have an office in Napa. We help employers, typically mid to large size employers, with all types of employee benefits. So ranging from medical, dental, all the way to disability and executive benefits as well.
And you've been doing that for how long?
Oh gosh, a long time, 24 years
24
this
years.
year.
Wow.
Yep, and I feel very blessed. I absolutely love it. It's one of those things that I never thought that I would go into the one specific business field, but insurance and employee benefits was it, and absolutely love it.
And how long have you guys had? How long have you had Employer Select Insurance Services?
So we just celebrated our 5th anniversary last month. So very excited about just what's happening in healthcare, and our business has grown every year for the last 5 years. So we're just looking forward to working with lots of employers in the Sacramento area.
Awesome. We'll have to talk more about exactly what that means, who your clients are, what kind of services you're offering.
Great.
Yeah.
So you've started your company 5 years ago, but you've been in the business for 24. So you did it through other companies for a while, and then the entrepreneurial bug said,
Absolutely.
I got to do this on my own.
Absolutely. I was a partner in another firm for 19 years, and 5 years ago just decided it was time to spread my wings and go out on my own, and it's been wonderful.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
great. We love having successes. And one of the questions Katie, I'm sure, is going to ask you, because it's her favorite question down the line, somewhere later on they'll ask it, is about what failures or challenges
Spoiler alert.
have you come across as you've grown your business. So we'll be talking about that a bit.
Maybe in the third segment.
Yeah,
we'll
there you
talk
go.
about that.
There you go.
Now that you've
Spoiled
gave
it.
her time
I know.
to think about it.
I know.
So, by the way, we didn't really introduce ourselves, so we'll go ahead and do that now. Katie McConnell here with Clifton Larson Allen, hiring and consulting practice leader. Very excited that this month on the radio in April is our hiring and recruitment month.
Excellent.
So talking with Shannon today about benefits and what's new and trending in benefits. Next week we'll have an HR consultant who will be talking about the retention side of things. So what to do to keep those people once you find them and hire them.
And give them the good benefits. And Mark Bell is a tax partner with Clifton Larson Allen. Used to be with Galena, and Galena got acquired by CLA effective January 1 of this year. I work with manufacturers, distributors, real estate developers, investors, and contractors and their owners. And I'm a tax guy, so it's busy time, as we said. But one of the things Kate and I are working on is we continue to evolve the format of the show. So we always would love to hear feedback from any of our listeners. If you've got thoughts on it, feel free to email me, mark.bellows@claconnect.com. Love to hear your thoughts on the opening of the show, how the show goes along, the ending, Katie and I, all that kind of stuff. So one thing we can't change is the time or the location. Otherwise, things are open to change.
Absolutely.
And Katie joined this gig. This gig, the first of the year.
Boondoggle.
Yes, and really has injected some great life into it. So we're coming up with lots of. Katie's very much an idea person. We're coming up with lots and lots of great ideas that we're continuing to implement. So I'm just interested to get feedback from people. So.
I feel like people say that about people that don't do things. Oh, you're an idea person.
Oh, that's not
you don't
true.
actually accomplish anything. You're an idea person.
No, let me tell you. Here, yeah, easy for me to say. So Katie says to me she's co-hosted a couple times before Shannon, before this year, and so when my regular co-host Rick left, I said, Katie and I talked about possibly her coming on full time, and she said I would be willing to do it, but there's got to be structure and we got to have it planned out. And I said, okay, I agree. That was one of my goals actually. I do quarterly goals, and one of my goals the first quarter was to get this more structured and organized. And so Katie's boom, like within a week she had the whole year planned out. So she's much more than just a thinker. She's
the story of my life.
Definitely a doer. And then
in 5 minutes, I have the whole year planned.
You've got to be too, Shannon. I mean, being a business owner and a successful business owner, you have to be a doer.
Absolutely. Doer, that's definitely my motto. But I have to tell you, you guys make a great team, so I enjoy listening to you. Yeah, it's definitely, we have a great team behind us as well, though. It's not my husband and I, we are the partners. I'm the managing partner. But we have a wonderful team of account managers.
So that means on the org chart you're above him, right?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah. Don't tell him that, he's probably listening.
He'll correct it.
But he has been in the benefits business as long as I have, so, and he specializes in the executive benefit side more, where I'm doing the group planning and doing group employee benefit consulting. So we do have different jobs within our company, but we have a wonderful team. We couldn't do it without our team. We have a senior account manager, account coordinator, and we're thinking about bringing on an intern and maybe with Katie's help, a new producer in the near future.
So if you could real quick, maybe give the listeners a distinction between the executive stuff that your husband does,
Sure.
or Mark does, and the stuff you do.
Absolutely. So my role is to consult with groups with employers, typically between 25 employees and about 500 employees, and just sit down with them. We assess their needs quite a bit. That's a huge part of what we do, is assessing what are their budgets, what type of employees they have, what are their employees' budgets, what area they're in, what industry they're in. Really do a deep dive there, and then just give some ideas of what types of plans might be a good fit for them. We look at the complete market, and then we also, after the plan is decided upon, and we make a recommendation, they decide. We help with all the implementation. Benefit implementation is really important to educate the employees properly, make sure they understand.
Thank you.
Sure.
When we get back from the break, we'll take a deeper dive into kind of what's trending with benefits, what kind of needs exist in the marketplace. If you want to call the show, 866-576-1055. Mark and Katie here on Beyond the Numbers 105.5.
We'll be right back.
Am I too chatty?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That was perfect.
You just go on and on and on.
You guys good?
Any feedback, any thoughts?
You need to put your face closer to the microphone. I kept trying to tell you, and
Okay.
and he's saying, like, pull it closer, maybe.
Like this way?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, just get right up in there.
Oops.
I want to hear to see if my commercial comes out. He's gonna come in and tell you that you need to eat the mic.
I need to eat the mic, right?
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Yeah.
I heard get closer, right?
Can you speak up a little? You don't have to get out. You just speak up a little.
Okay. People
So
never.
you can move the, just
Yeah,
be
I'm gonna
careful.
move
We
it closer.
have had it where someone moved it and actually fell off.
I know. Oh, that's loud, yeah. I don't want to like touch it, but I guess even if I touch it, it won't hurt it. It won't make
No.
a noise.
No, it
Oh,
won't
no.
be
I mean,
Have you heard yours yet?
No, but yours is on right now.
Okay, you're next.
You think they're gonna run him back to back?
Yeah. We can sell airtime.
pardon me?
We can sell our airtime.
I love it.
Yeah, we haven't done it yet, but we can. So we can,
Ah.
it's a way to because reimburse us for this. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think that's further iteration.
So can I do a little commercial with you guys?
Absolutely, absolutely.
They
You do a
were
long
really easy
commercial.
to work with. I can endorse it now that I've done mine and been through the process.
Yeah.
And he did a great job.
Who did you use? One of the.
They have people that use.
No, it's not mine.
You'll be next.
Next break.
Usually like 2 commercials and then.
And we're back. Good morning, Mark and Katie in the morning on Money 105.5 Beyond the Numbers. Katie McConnell here.
Mark Bellows and our guest today, Shannon Zajec.
You got it.
Zajac. I said
That's a tongue
Zajac like
twister.
Pat
It
Zajac.
is. I know Pat Zajec though.
I had the dyslexia of the name.
Shannon's with Employer Select Insurance Services and Employee Benefits, or that's not the right. What's the?
That's correct.
Is that right?
Employee benefits consulting.
Consulting. Thank you. Okay. You don't actually provide the benefits. You provide the consulting and hook the people, the groups up
Right.
with.
We serve as a broker.
Yeah.
Broker, consultant. But broker's kind of an old word. We think of ourselves more of advisors and consultants now.
Gotcha.
I think that's confusing for a lot of people.
It is.
They think, what does this person do, and how do they add value to my business, and what do you get out of it? So talk a little bit about how you guys get paid.
So most of our groups, I mean, it's depending on the size, but almost all groups under, say, 200 employees were typically paid on a commission basis through the insurance carrier. So the clients don't pay us directly. We are paid that way. But
Yeah.
for our larger groups, we can forego the commission and charge a direct fee.
So the insurance carrier being Kaiser, Sutter, that type of stuff.
Exactly,
Okay.
yep.
But you guys, do they all equally pay you? I mean, or
That's a really good question. I know what you're saying. So
Yeah.
in California, groups under 100 employees are considered small groups.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird because like the group of 90 isn't really small.
No, it's not.
But it is. So
Yeah.
they're considered small groups in the
Okay.
insurance world. And for those groups, the commissions are kind of baked into all the plans. The insurance carriers file the rates with the state of California. The insurance commissioner
Right.
accepts those
Yes.
rates. So any broker you use is going to get this paid the same
Okay.
on that product. Groups over 100, we don't have that type of rate structure, like age-banded rate structure. We have what's composite rates. For example, all singles are the same rate, so forth, and we can negotiate the commission on those. And typically, it's 3 to 5% depending on what we're doing for the client and what
Okay.
needs they have.
So the bottom line is that as a business owner, you could call Shannon and ask for advice and get signed up, and you don't have to pay Shannon for that advice. She's able to provide that.
A consultation.
Exactly.
And your husband does it for executive?
He does. So that would be more individual. Like
Okay.
if a company wanted to provide, say, key person life insurance on the owners, he gets policies. He brokers with all the large insurance carriers. Disability, long-term care, those types of special executive carve-outs.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Gotcha. long-term care is a big one.
It's huge.
It's expensive, but it's so important.
Everything's expensive.
I know, but long-term care is really expensive.
I saw your post yesterday online for the $20 fruitcake.
Is-
Like,
Nuggets got
really?
fruitcakes for $19.99
$20
for a fruitcake.
I saw at Safeway on Sunday they had pasta sauce for $10. I'm like, $10 for a jar of pasta sauce.
Those are some good
I don't
pasta
even want to
sauces.
know what health insurance costs now.
Well, you mentioned long-term care,
Yeah.
and I just have to tell you, it's been a really great trend. And I know you wanted to hear about trends, but I say we had, gosh, at least 5 clients just this last year in that mid to large size company that have went ahead and added long-term care as a voluntary product for their employees.
Wow.
And employees are really, they're starting to understand, they're seeing their parents and their grandparents have to pay for their long-term care, either through skilled nursing or in a facility, and it is so expensive. So
It is. And do you want your parent to be in the fourplex in
Yes.
this neighborhood or in the nicer than this neighborhood? I mean, it really involves all dollars.
it is, and you know, it's a gift that, like, if you're in your 50s or so and you buy long-term care, well, that could be in the future, but it's kind of a gift you buy for your children, you know, so
Yes,
you're right, so
absolutely.
your children don't have to pay for your long-term care. So it's a great trend out there, and I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, that's great. We're gonna actually have people from Eschaton on later in the year, in July, right?
July,
Yeah,
yep.
and so we can talk more about what they do with long-term care. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So what else as far as trends? I mean, are we seeing people migrate more to HSAs? On the hiring side, I'm seeing that more than I'm seeing the traditional plans nowadays.
True. You know, high deductible health plans are still being very embraced by the employers, and you know, with Trump also talking about how he supports HSAs and more individual responsibility, that has really, I think, helped the HSAs, and we love them. We think it's just such a great tax advantage. And speaking to a tax
Yeah,
guy
can you
here.
just maybe give our listeners a little background on how that works?
Sure. So typically our client will offer an HSA plan that's a high deductible health plan. It might have a, let's say, a $2,000 deductible before anything in the plan is covered except like things like preventive care. Preventive care is pretty much baked into all plans.
Right.
But if you have to go to an office visit, for example, you're going to pay the full price of that care. So typically, if an employer buys a $2,000 deductible plan, they might give the employee $1,000 a year in a HSA bank account, and it's actually a checking account, that they can use their debit card to pay for those types of services before the deductible is met. And then usually once the deductible met, then there's more co-insurance, more of a traditional type plan. But very successful. A lot of clients offer an HSA plan as an option, and then maybe a more traditional plan alongside it.
Yeah, health savings account is what the HSA stands for. And those can, the beauty about those is you're not taxed on the earnings.
Yeah, it's
So it's similar to an IRA or that type of thing. So, and you can leave money in there year to year to year, right? You don't have to
Yeah.
you don't have to use all that's put in there. So it can be another savings vehicle, a tax-free savings vehicle.
Yeah, and the way we mention it to employees too is, you know, think about it as a long-term savings vehicle, like you said, because when we're in our 60s, even if we're eligible for Medicare at some point, we're probably going to have health expenses out of pocket where you could use that money at that point. And as long as you use it for medical expenses, you're never taxed on that money, like you said.
Ever.
So it's tax-free money going in, grows tax-free, and it comes out tax-free.
And so I'm personally, in the past with Galena as a partner, we couldn't have health savings accounts. I guess partners and partnerships can't. You're not employed, right? But now, I've got a different plan through CLA that I'm not using, so I hooked that through Kaiser, and I do have an HSA alongside it because I chose the Kaiser plan that's got a lot higher deductible. So I'm 52, so I could put money, I can max out my HSA contributions, which are like $6,500, $7,500.
Yeah, it goes up a little bit every year too.
So I could put in $7,000 a year for the next 15 years, not necessarily use it, and then use it as I'm older and have that money in there, and it's all tax-free coming
Yeah.
out. I mean, that's, again, you can max out that, you max out your 401k, or whatever. It's
Right, and a lot of employers, if they offer a traditional plan, they might look at that and say, well, if I buy this HSA plan for my employees, it's maybe, let's say it's 15% less premium. Well, I could put some money now into their HSA accounts and still save money, maybe still have an overall 5% savings on their healthcare costs.
wow. If you can get any kind of savings
Which,
in
yeah,
health.
5% is a lot.
Yes.
So that's a good trend. HSAs, yeah, I could
Yeah.
definitely see that. What other trends have you been seeing?
Choice is definitely a big trend, and there is I'll give a little plug for a private exchange that's working really well here in California called CalChoice. It's been around for about 20 years now. A lot of our groups in the under 100 market are using that, where it's kind of like a shopping mall for healthcare. It's, you know, an exchange, but it's not the public exchange. It's separate, it's private, where you can get your Kaiser and your HealthNet and your, you know, Western Health Advantage. You can get all those plans under one umbrella, and employees love that because they have lots of options. And typically, the client will pick 4 to 6 plans within that menu.
I've
to
seen
offer.
that with some of my clients.
Yeah, it's really great. And so you can have the HSA option in there. We have a couple clients that have out-of-state salespeople, works really well for them.
Right.
Because they have an Anthem PPO that those out-of-state folks can have. And it's very affordable, so it's a great way.
Yeah.
It's a trend.
I was reading an article yesterday and they talked about that, about trends, and one of the trends was choice. People
Yeah.
don't want to just, here's your plan. I mean, they want, like you said, the menu to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, all of our clients offer at least 2 plans. Some offer as many as 6 plans.
Wow.
But, you know, we tend to, you know, just not suggest too many more, because then sometimes too much choice is confusing to the employees.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, so 6 plans usually does plenty
Wow.
of choice.
Yeah, that's a lot of plans.
And another trend is the health reimbursement arrangement, which is similar to the HSA. So health reimbursement is where instead of giving all employees money into their health savings account, employers can reimburse for over a certain amount. For example, like a hospitalization, they could set a target dollar. So let's say the employee is responsible for the first 1,000, and then maybe the employer will pick up the next 1,000. So they can do something like that as well, and that's pretty popular.
So health reimbursement.
Yeah.
And do the employers, how long have those been around?
Forever. Yeah, I mean, just
Okay.
a long time.
So,
but they're really
so the arrangement you're talking about where the employee pays the first 1,000, let's say, and then the employer pays the next. I mean, is there a lot of instances where the employers are actually paying that, or do they see a lot where they don't? And that's
Yeah,
part of the
that's why they
attraction.
save the money,
Yeah.
absolutely. So you can take advantage of buying that higher deductible plan, because if you have a relatively healthy workforce, and I've even seen groups that don't have a healthy workforce that still come out ahead
Oh,
versus
interesting.
buying that richer, more traditional plan.
Right.
So it is a little bit of volatility in what the employer has to pay, depending on what
Sure.
claims happen, but it's a very good strategy.
So a little teaser before we go to break. We've been talking a lot about medical insurance. What other kind of benefits are you helping facilitate besides medical?
Oh gosh, like I mentioned, long-term care is a big trend. Even choices in dental options and vision options.
Sure.
There's lots of options available there. But voluntary is getting very popular as far as the Aflac, Colonial, those types of products. They have products that work really well with the HSAs and the HRAs that fill in some of those gaps.
So those are like accident insurance?
Exactly,
and-
hospital plans where, like, if you know you're going to go in the hospital, you can buy this plan. It will give you a set amount of money to help pay that deductible. So it's they're getting very popular, voluntary plans. One thing I'd like to see a little bit more traction on, which I think will in the future, is telemedicine.
Right.
So
Is that like phone a doctor?
it is. Skype
Okay.
a doctor, phone a doctor, yep. And I think that it's great for productivity for employees, because they can do it from home, they can do it from work, they could even get a prescription in some cases, non-narcotic obviously.
You're like lifting up your, I got this rash.
Yeah, I was actually reading an
Let me
article.
move over
in,
to the webcam and show you
Yes.
up close.
Yeah.
Well,
Take a look
there's
at
an
it.
article in last week's New Yorker about how some various tech people around are developing almost like an AI type thing that can do the diagnostic.
Yes.
So you can send in a picture of your, they talk about
your rash.
dermatology, but your picture of your blemish on your skin, and they can look at it and go, yeah, the technical can look at it, and determine whether or not that has some potential for being
Yeah,
wrong or
WebMD
something,
can
so.
do the same thing.
Yeah, but this is all a non-person. This is all automated, so that and it learns as it goes, etc. It's very interesting. Interesting article.
It is incredible.
So
Technology will take us.
telemedicine, yeah, I think we're going to see more of that, especially in remote areas.
Right, and there's
That's
big-
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you're traveling or something.
Yeah, but if you're somewhere where there's not necessarily a doctor close, how better to do telemedicine than have to drive down to Roseville to catch,
Right.
spend 2 hours to get here to see your doctor. So.
And there's a huge percentage of diagnosis that can happen over the phone. I mean, it's like 80% or something. It's a huge number. So, let's save on some resources. We'll save on some gas. We'll save on people waiting in the
Wait
waiting
time
room.
in ER,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Well, when we get back, we will continue the conversation with Shannon from Employers Select Insurance Services. By the way, if you want to check them out on the web, employersselect.com. So employers with with an S, select.com to check them out on the web, and her information is there if you want to, I don't know if people get a quote or just have a conversation with you.
Both.
Consultative
They
call.
can find out a way to call it.
They can do
contact
both,
you from there.
absolutely, yep.
All right. Beyond the Numbers on 105.5, Katie McConnell here with Clifton Larson Allen, here with Mark Bellows. We'll be right back.
You have a really good radio voice.
Thank you.
Actually, both of you do.
Thank you.
Face for radio too.
No, it's not. That's what I told
Right
Mark
now,
when I
I
walked
have
in.
this thing on my face. It's horrible.
No,
That's
you've
where
got
the
a face
camera is
for TV
too.
too.
Oh,
so.
great. I have a beef about HSA right now because our new plan, it used to be a $20 copay.
Right.
Now I had to go just to get set up with my new doctor because of our new insurance, and I get a bill for $294, and I was literally there for 5 minutes.
Crazy.
They just listened to me breathe, took my temperature, and said, okay, you're all set up. And I had to, so that if something happens, I can go back and have a doctor.
Do you have a gain on her headphones? You know, like a volume control?
No.
Oh, it's just straight then, there's no volume.
Well, in the
control.
plug-in, there's a bit of.
Okay, turn it down, because you know what's wrong? They shouldn't even have the wired this way, because if you have your gain up, you're hearing yourself real loud, but you're not coming across in there loud enough. So if you'll turn your gain down, you'll hear yourself lower, so you will speak up.
So that's a trick for you.
So turn it down even lower?
Turn it
Yeah.
down a little lower, so you'll be
So speak up.
inclined to speak up a little.
Okay, that's a
All
good
right.
point.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Should have told it to you guys,
Oh,
too.
yeah. It's only been 3 years. Thanks, Jared.
I'm a slow learner.
Are you really going to ask me about failures? Now I have to think about what failures.
Sorry.
Yeah, I like to talk about entrepreneur stories.
Great.
Well, especially.
It
if
doesn't
you
have to
learn.
be a failure with a client. It can be.
Oh, actually, I did have a recruiting failure. That'd be a good one, right?
Sure. Troubleshoot it for you.
No.
It
But
doesn't
that
have
was-
to be a client failure. It can just be a personal lesson that you
Yeah.
learned. Or is my commercial in yet?
You should be the lead in, right?
Maybe it'll be next.
This break is a little bit longer at the half.
What's that?
This break at the half is a little bit longer.
Oh, okay.
It's about a minute or so.
All right.
So we have 2 more segments. So we'll talk about a little bit more about what we were talking about. Maybe talk about your community involvement as far as what you do,
Oh,
the SARA
okay.
and
Good
boards
idea.
and some of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
John and Rita.
Do you guys know about SVP?
SBP?
SVP, Social Venture Partners. So I just got involved with them. I'll tell you about them. So.
Oh, nice. It sounds vaguely familiar, but yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah.
Are you involved in that, or?
Well, I'm brand new at it. I mean, I literally my husband
Okay.
and I signed up last week.
Nice.
It's an investment into nonprofits in the Sacramento area.
Oh, that's probably where I've heard it. That's
Mhm.
great.
It's very cool. So we help we coach 10 nonprofits to, make their pitch, and then that's how they, go
That's
out
what
to the
I've heard about it.
community. It's
Yeah.
really neat. Craig's been involved, so he's suggested.
Who's that?
Craig Hetteridge, our
Okay.
coach with Renaissance.
Cool.
Yeah, he invited me to an event called Fast Pitch. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That thing's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
Fast pitch is
that's
pretty cool.
social venture partners.
Okay.
So I'll be involved in meeting some of those nonprofits and helping them make their pitch.
That's cool. I did that. Well, I wasn't involved, but I went to Innovate North State up in the Chico area.
Oh.
Had some of those fast pitches, so I went to a couple. I was actually a judge at one of them.
Oh, okay.
But it's very.
That sounds
It's
fun. I'd love to do
inspiring,
that.
and I'll have to tell you
It
guys more about it.
is.
It's really neat.
In fact, for these two, one of the group of people up there that started an app, had on the show a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Because they're.
This is your commercial again. What the heck?
You should be next. You might be a little. Maybe it takes another week for them to get it in rotation.
It was. I don't. Maybe.
It takes a couple weeks here to usually get stuff in rotation. What I've seen. So.
Should I mention SAC Pro Advisors?
What's that?
Should I mention SAC
Yeah,
Pro
absolutely.
Advisors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I've mentioned it before, so.
Okay, good.
I was thinking I was going to mention you and I know each other from there,
Yeah.
amongst other places.
Great, okay, good.
Is that you?
No.
Street Business Network.
Good morning. morning. We're back on Beyond the Numbers, Money 105.5. Mark and Katie here.
Katie wrote her commercial and had a new one recorded this week, but it's not played yet. So I was telling her sometimes it takes them about a week to get it rotation.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, I know.
Here.
It's a creative commercial. It's going to be nice.
Complaining off air about how they keep playing Mark's commercial.
We're sick of hearing about Mark. Let's hear about Katie.
Yeah.
And our guest today, Shannon.
Let's hear about Shannon.
Yeah,
let's do that instead.
Yeah, there we go, Shannon.
So we were talking on the break about how involved you are. I don't know how you have time for everything with how many things you do. So we met, I think, through Sacramento Area Human Resources Association.
Yep.
I believe you were the past president of that board at one point in time, right?
Now president, I was VP of membership, which kind of felt like president sometimes.
Got it.
Are you still VP membership?
No, actually, I'm no longer on the board,
Okay.
but still very involved and volunteer whenever I can.
And Shannon and I are on a strategic HR think tank group together as well.
Nice. And then Shannon and I are together in a group called Sacramento's Professional Area.
SAC Pro Advisors.
SAC
or
Pro,
what we call
I
it.
don't even
We'll make
close.
it shorter.
Sorry,
Yeah.
SAC Pro Advisors, SPAN.
SPAN.
So what is SPAN? Because you're now on the board.
Yeah, so SAC Pro Advisors is a pretty newly formed group of professional advisors in the Sacramento region. We have a group in Roseville, Sacramento, and growing one in Folsom as well. And it's just
So
a
3
group.
groups.
Yeah, 3 groups. And we are advisors to employers typically. We're a group of, myself, like a benefit advisors, attorneys, accountants, there's real estate professionals, several attorneys, all different types of specialty attorneys.
CFOs for hire.
CFOs for hire, yes.
Smith Miller, who was on the show a few months ago, Smith's and
Yeah,
Williams
who's
groups, so,
involved
yeah.
with tax. Yeah,
Tax
so
credits, yeah.
just a great group of peers that I can feel great about introducing to our clients, and vice versa. So we share ideas. We meet in what we call trios once a month, where 3 of us within our group will get together and just get to know each other's businesses better, how we've helped our clients, and it's just good for me to know I've got all these people in my back pocket. So if I have a client that has a need, I can say, hey,
Right.
I'm going to plug in, introduce you to this person, and hopefully be fit.
helps us make it be more of a well-rounded business
Absolutely.
advisor.
And that's what it's all about, especially in Sacramento, is being able to get people to the right place and help them
Being a
with the
connector.
needs of their business. Absolutely.
Being a connector. It's crucial to be a connector.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what else are you involved in besides those couple things?
Oh gosh.
You're involved in a lot, we know.
Yeah. Well, I do feel blessed because a lot of it is local. I'm involved with our South Plaza Rotary. Just started working with them about last June, I think I joined, and then now I'm serving as the Interact chair for our local high school, which my son actually is a freshman at Whitney High School.
Okay.
So they have an Interact club for their students. So then I heard that they're going to appoint me as youth services chair. So I guess that's my next role
Hey,
within Rotary.
Congratulations.
Right.
I'm gonna have to learn to say no pretty soon. But love Rotary, and then love the HR group. I was involved with Katie. Been involved with the Sacramento Association of Health Underwriters. That's the group of all the insurance professionals like myself, advisors, and also the carrier representatives like the folks from Kaiser and Blue Shield. We all get together, learn great topics once a month, share ideas. I was president of that. The first year I started my business actually was kind of crazy, so
Wow.
I'm no longer on that board. But
It's always kind of crazy the first year you start a
Oh,
business.
yeah.
It is.
First
And-
5 years.
Yeah, and to be president of association the same year
Yeah.
was not a very good decision, but I loved it, and it's a wonderful group of people. So, yeah, and then just of course involved with the kids. My daughter's in Girl Scouts and all the kids stuff, and
Cookie
son's involved in
season's over
band.
now,
and-
right?
Yep. So just a lot of different things, but I certainly love the Rotary Group, love Sacramento Pro Advisors, and love to give back.
And then and that's local. And then you've also done stuff nationally. You do some speaking, right?
Yeah,
Presentations and that
yeah, we've
stuff.
done different talking about benefits technology, talking about wellness innovation. There's a lot happening with wellness and tools and incentives that employers can offer. I am very passionate about that. Love helping our groups just try to get their employees healthy. I mean, that's how we're going to end up reducing healthcare costs in the long run, because
Absolutely.
health insurance costs are high because healthcare costs are high. So we can get healthcare costs down through wellness and get our clients' employees healthier. It's a win for all of us.
Well, I think it's kind of a catch-22 also, because I know for me, I'm inclined to not go to the doctor until it's really bad.
Yeah.
because I want to write it out so that I don't have to incur the time and incur the money
Yeah,
to go
exactly.
deal with it.
Exactly.
And so I'm not incentivized to go get my checkups until something horrible is happening, or then I'm sitting in urgent care because, you know, I can't get an appointment and I'm on my deathbed.
And we hear that a lot. You know, the one thing I do like about the new plans, though, is that the preventive care is baked into all the plans. So if I hear that excuse, I say, you know, it's no cost. You go once a year. You know, just go get. So at least you know your doctor. I've heard many stories where folks have said, "Oh, well, I had this emergency situation." And they said, "Who's my doctor?" And I didn't even know the name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you need to go at least know your doctor, and that's, I mean, it's part of your benefit plan. Just know your doctor, so you have the relationship. So, God forbid, if a big disease or something does come on, you have someone that can be your quarterback and
Right.
really help you through the system.
Right.
Know your doctor.
Know your doctor, Katie.
I'll look into that.
So what types of wellness stuff do you see out there?
Well, you know, companies do it all different. There's great innovation where they can use apps with their employees. They can use website trackers that track fitness levels. They can do biometrics. That's, some companies even incentivize their employees to get biometrics completed. And then the employer only gets the aggregate data. They don't get individual data, you know, so it's all
Yeah, I don't want to
protected.
know
That's
a
good.
wild weekend and
No,
my
no.
Yeah.
body fat
No.
went up, my blood alcohol content is through the roof.
It's HIPAA protected, absolutely.
We did Fitbits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I actually, so I told you mine broke.
Let's say, where's yours?
So it went kaputskis,
Yeah.
and so I had to call customer service and get a new one. And I told you I was just gonna get a wheelchair, and what's the point of walking until the Fitbit came? Well, it was supposed to come yesterday, but my hopes and dreams were crushed, and it didn't show
Didn't
up.
show up this day? Oh.
So I'm expecting today,
Today.
and then I can actually start walking again. For
You
business.
can't walk without the Fitbit.
No,
Is that
what's the point of it?
If
I'm
you're not
not-
tracking it, why?
Yeah, I'm
why
not
do
winning
this
any
stuff?
competitions, and that Fitbit is
She's
like
a little competitive.
Fitbit
Yes.
is like the fastest social media. I became irrelevant after a couple of days of inactivity, and now I'm not even getting invited to anything anymore. So I got to get back in the game. We do these challenges with other coworkers that have the Fitbit.
It's awesome.
You know, so in a competitive environment, we're all running in place, trying to get steps. And
Have those
That's great.
treadmill desks. So you
That's
can
Yeah.
great.
walk while you're working.
Does your employer just incentivize that, or just?
you know,
Suggest it.
Galena had done it as a employee perk, I guess, and
Yeah.
so they contributed, I don't know, $50 towards the price of whatever Fitbit we wanted to get. So.
Great, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
love
a
it.
lot of
It
people
was a
got it.
wellness
Yeah, that was a
initiative.
wellness. So,
Mhm.
what other types of wellness stuff are you seeing?
Well, when we have a challenge, something like that, or even a weight loss challenge, sometimes companies will even incentivize by reducing health insurance premiums for those employees that participate in some type of wellness event. And they don't have to participate in every event. Maybe they do 4 events a year, and if you participate in a couple events, you know, you might get a discount on your insurance premiums.
Now, how does that work for folks that don't need to lose weight or that are, you know, already in shape? Is that discriminatory?
No, not necessarily.
So they're already
There's-
exercising.
Yeah,
so.
they're already exercising,
Doing
but
it.
there's other things that an employer can offer, such as education. They could read some materials about it. They can, you know, just have a healthy eating log, or there's all
Sure.
types of things, and
Yeah,
they're probably
something
doing it
like,
already.
We'll
like
pay you
said.
to quit smoking. Well, I'm going to start so that
Yeah.
I can
So you get paid
so
to
I can
quit.
quit.
Yeah.
Get paid.
And that's a big one. I have one of my clients that they have about 250 employees. They're actually looking at doing a smoke-free workforce. So they are going to pay for a smoking cessation for any
Wow.
employee that would like that.
Wow, that's great.
And that's great, because for those people that could be life-changing.
I think some point in the past, Galena, it might have been before you got there, also did something with helping out with gym memberships. You know,
Mhm.
helping reimburse a certain.
Oh, that I
amount or
see that a
something.
lot actually too.
Yeah.
With CrossFit or athletic club membership, where the employer will have a certain club that they pick, and then if the employee wants to go, it's free access.
Yeah, an
to the
employer
club.
can negotiate a discounted rate with
Yeah,
that club as well. So it's a discount to the employee.
And those are great from a hiring and retention standpoint as well, because they're not a lot of money and they go a long ways for, you know, demonstrating culture and.
Right.
You're right, and the culture part of it makes the employer look like, hopefully they do care, but it shows that they do care about their employees. They want to
They
look
look
out
like
for the
they
health
care.
and well-being of their employees.
Right.
I have a client, I'm actually visiting them for an interview this afternoon, and they do yoga once a week, and they clear out their conference room, and they do a yoga class in the middle of the floor.
Interesting.
It's pretty
That's
cool. I love it.
Yeah, that would be great.
I don't know how I feel about that though, you know, being in my yoga clothes. And
Yeah, no, that's the thing, yeah.
Well,
being with my
as long as you don't get too sweaty, right?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. As long as it's not hot yoga where they
Yeah.
crank it up in the conference room to 105. And
We have, we also have, we bring in a masseuse every tax season, so people,
Fabulous.
a couple like a Wednesday afternoon and all day Friday, basically, so we have a masseuse come in and get massages, so.
My account managers would love that during open enrollment season.
Yeah, right, I mean, that's, yeah.
I think I might have to add that.
It's a nice perk.
Yes.
And we will be right back. Money 105.5 Beyond the Numbers. Sorry, I couldn't find a good break to ease out, so we kept.
We did.
No, that's fine.
I want to talk about that a little bit more, because if there's one big takeaway for employers, it's those little things that they could offer would go so far. I struggle so much with, well, what kind of benefits do you offer? Well, we only have Kaiser, and we pay for the employee, but we pay nothing for the dependents, and we don't do anything else. It's like, how am I supposed to sell this job to people and hire someone? Well, we offer 1 week of vacation, but you have to be here a year before you get it. I had a conversation with a client yesterday. Is it common for employees to want to take vacation during their first year? I said, yes.
Yes, it's
As a
life.
matter of
Yeah.
fact.
Well, I came from an environment where, you know, you didn't take vacation when you started a new job for the first year. Well, people have things going on in their lives, and I mean, we have to be competitive. I had 2 candidates for a second interview for that Sonoma company. One of them emailed me today and said she took another job last night. You know, this is the environment we're in. And
Well, that's the thing, it's definitely an employee's market right now, so.
But yeah, I was having lunch with a client yesterday, and they were talking about that, the dependent premium, they've never contributed, and they say, you know, we really think we need to do this to be competitive. So I think that is a trend where employers are starting to look at that, because, you know, the economy's doing a little better. And
Yeah.
although it's frustrating to me as somebody that I'm, you know, just support myself, I don't have those benefits. So for people that do, they're getting more bang for their buck out of being an employee than I am when I am, you know, healthy, taking care of myself, and I just don't get the benefits. And I'm paying through the nose for what I do have. Our new benefits suck.
We're up.
And we're back. That was a quick little mini break.
Yep.
A mini break.
A mini break. So we were talking during the break, and we're on Facebook Live, by the way, and we'll be up on YouTube tomorrow, and we'll have links on it for Kate, and I'll be sending out links, and we'll send you one as well, and you can pass it out if you want to people. But one of the things we're talking about is the wellness type stuff, right? And then kind of a little bit broader topic about benefits and how Katie was saying how important it is that employers understand that employees are looking for this type of stuff.
Absolutely.
More and more
It
so.
extends well beyond salary. And it's not just millennials, going back to last week's show with Jessica Kriegel and her book Unfairly Labeled. It's not just millennials. Everybody wants competitive benefits. In fact, it may not be the millennials, because many of them do not have children and families or parents that are aging out yet.
Yeah,
You know,
true,
so it may
true.
be, you know, the aging baby boomer population that really is more concerned with some of these
Like
things.
the Gen Xers, yeah. So are you seeing, you've probably been seeing that trend as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing that employers are they're savvy to the fact that when they have a recruit coming on, that they're asking about not only salary, but benefits is usually the same question, the same sentence. And they want to know, how much you contribute toward me, are you going to help pay for some of my family? So we do see some clients that have never supported family, the dependents in the past, that are considering, well, maybe we should look at how we weight that.
Really?
Maybe we should not have such a rich plan, and maybe provide some toward the dependents as well. Just looking at different strategies, and we have a really neat tool that helps them see that really clearly as well. They can see for dependent contributions and employer, you know, how that works out with various plans.
Sure.
So how do people get hold of Shannon again? What's the website?
Employersselect.com. So employers with an S, select.com.
So 2 S's in the middle there. Employersselect.com.
I think we'd be remiss if we didn't at least ask about the ACA, Obamacare. Are people still talking about this, or is it kind of, well, let's just see what happens? And I feel like the past 2 years we've spent so much time talking about what's going to happen, how much is it going to cost, how do we prepare for it, and now all of a sudden shift.
Although again, this morning Trump said before we do taxes, we're going to do healthcare. So there, he said it's not dead; they're just negotiating. So his words are.
Yeah, and we're hoping to make some improvements. The ACA, I think it is unfortunately destined to fail at some point, but I think a lot of our group clients, the ACA doesn't affect them as much, except right now they're breathing a big sigh of relief that the reporting period is over with, because all
Right.
of our larger groups, over 50 employees, have had to do the ACA reporting. We helped them through that process, and they're all like, glad
So
that's over.
is that all the 1095
Exactly.
A, B's, and C's?
All those
1095s,
forms
yeah.
that you got in the mail that you kind of were like, okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, as a tax guy,
I'm
I
gonna put
need
that in
them.
the folder,
but,
never
yeah.
look at it.
Yeah.
You know what frosts me? I'll tell you real quick, and then we'll get back to you, Shannon. Sorry, but as I'm doing taxes, people are getting hit with penalties
Yeah.
for not having insurance. That's just, you know,
Really?
someone who can't. Yeah.
You've actually
I've
seen
had a
that?
client in the last couple of years who had their penalty was over $5,000 because they didn't pay for health insurance. They couldn't afford it. But in their mind, the $5,000 was cheaper than paying the $12,000 a year or $10,000 a year. It just seems silly.
Although I would argue that the intangible cost of not being an employer of choice or attracting and retaining talent is far more expensive.
I would agree.
And that's
but,
coming
yeah.
from a recruiting and hiring person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So a little bias over here.
Yeah, well, we did see a pretty big change with employer contribution levels when the ACA was first coming in with the reporting being required and all
Right,
that.
right.
A lot of clients said, well, we didn't cover this one group. I had a roofing company, for example, that didn't cover a whole section of employees. And I said, well, with the ACA, they work over 30 hours. We now have to cover them. They brought 50 new people onto their plan. So
that was a benefit for those 50 for sure.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
those 50, they had to go buy their own insurance before. Now I have a contribution toward their benefits through the employer plan. So that was definitely a trend. In fact, none of our clients surprisingly dropped their coverage. We thought we might see a few.
Yeah.
We even told a few they probably should drop coverage. We had two that were in the retail industry that said that a lot of minimum wage employees, it might have worked out better for them to drop their coverage. They said, no, our philosophy is to offer coverage, and they retained it.
But this is why fruitcake costs $20.
Yeah.
Sauce costs $10 a jar.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because
So,
of that.
Yeah.
what's your favorite question you want to ask Shannon this week?
Failure. I'm
To
going to
wind
take a new
down.
twist on
Okay,
it though,
good.
since
Right.
you
Sorry, I screwed up your.
spoiled the bean. Not spoiled the beans. Spill the beans.
Spill the
spoil
beans.
the
Spoil
whatever.
the soup. Whatever. I don't know.
I always like to ask entrepreneurs about what their biggest failure is, but instead of failure, we'll call it sort of life lesson, or, and the spin, biggest piece of advice that you would give to a company based upon your experiences and what you've seen.
Well, I think the biggest thing I would have changed about starting the company is I would have done it 5 years earlier. So,
And I've heard that
Yep.
many times before.
so if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, like, I mean, I was born with one, I think, and you know that you're not in the best place where you should be, if you should be leading a team and you want to just go out on your own, you should do it a lot sooner than you think. Not wait till you're 19 years into your career to make the move.
Just make the start, yeah.
Yeah, and then just making sure that you have the very best people, smarter people than you around you. I'm very blessed with, like I said, such a great team. I think they're all smarter than me, so they make me look good.
That's good. That's good advice.
And
Oh,
biggest
always a good-
advice to companies?
To companies,
Could be about anything, maybe benefits wise, biggest piece of advice or something that you've picked up in your career, your
Yeah.
community involvement.
oh boy. Well, I think benefits wise, because that's my passion, is just, don't discount the importance of offering a good benefit plan. Employers, they typically will be pretty generous, but some of them think that, well, it's just not as important as salary or vacation, but it is very important to employees. They appreciate it, and it's a great tax benefit to the employer.
Absolutely, yep.
They forget that sometimes.
Yep.
It's a tax deductible expense, and then the employee benefits because it's tax free to them as well. So they don't pay taxes. So it's a win-win. So
And in today's economy, you've got to have benefits to attract and retain people, and it's so expensive to hire someone. And so if you hire someone but you don't have good benefits and they leave and you say, well, but we save money by not offering the benefits, did you really save money? Does the
Yeah.
employer really save money because they continue to go through this hiring process and training and educating new
Or
employees?
keeping someone on staff that's really limiting the production.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'd say is just make sure that if an employer is working with a benefits advisor, just make sure that they're looking at all the options. Make sure that you're getting some really good ideas, that the advisor's asking a lot of questions to really understand the company's needs.
6 plans.
And that was going to be my piece of advice is get creative. I talk to somebody like Shannon or call Shannon at Employer Select and brainstorm about what can be done because we talk about limiting beliefs and I can't and my yes but or yes if philosophy on things with joining the show, that the answer shouldn't be no, we can't afford it, or no, we can't offer that, but yes if we
do this or
do
that,
this or that and get creative.
and you work with someone like Shannon, they can help an employer figure out
It
how
can
to
help
make
you with your yes if. Yeah.
help you get to a yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So next week on the show, we've got Brian Berger, who I know Shannon knows as well.
That's great.
In the HR community of Sacramento is a wide network, but small town.
Yeah, of course.
Brian is an HR consultant and coach, and so he's going to be talking about his experience coaching clients with the kind of retention side of things. So we've done the interview, got him in the door, got the benefits package worked out. Now how do we keep these folks here in the seat, and some of his
And not
experiences
lose them.
with that.
Good. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So that'll be fun. Shannon, you'll have to tune in. and listen to
Absolutely.
Brian.
Absolutely.
I adore Brian's sense of humor. He's a crack up. It may be because he laughs at all of my jokes, which is why I like him so much.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy him. So
We'll
I'm
see.
expecting that he'll relieve me of my comic duty on the show every week next week. So that'll be fun.
That'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're involved real quick. How much time do we have left? 2 minutes. So you're involved with entrepreneur and with startup, with trying to get the fast pitch type stuff. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, and as I mentioned before, I'm very, very new at it. We just joined Sacramento Venture Partners, and it's just a great way for us, and I say us, my husband and I are signed up as a team to help these nonprofits throughout Sacramento. So they have a fast pitch event that I think you've attended, Mark.
Yes.
They have a couple different events where they really help nonprofits to dial in on their message. And get that message out to the community, get their request out to the community, what their services are, just so the community can benefit from all these great nonprofits. And
so these are nonprofits specifically. Oh, that's great.
Yep.
So
yeah,
So you're helping them refine their message,
absolutely.
which is so important, because a lot of times people have a passion to start a nonprofit, talking about passion for business,
Yes.
but they don't know how to run the business of a nonprofit.
Most people have a passion for whatever business they're starting, and then don't really.
Well, typically, yeah, true.
There's some
Yeah.
holes to fill in about
The
everything
marketing
else.
piece is not there. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
And this
Yeah.
really helps them with the marketing piece of it.
And that's why we do what we do, right? Is all of us, to help the business owner that does a great job with their core business, but is a little bit
Needy in recruiting or hiring or getting the benefits or doing their taxes or that
Sure.
kind of stuff. Absolutely.
I'm really excited. We'll be doing a workshop series through the hiring practice later this year. Just kind of hammered that out, so more information forthcoming. But to be able to teach folks about doing an effective interview, maximizing your sourcing, trying to find the right people, sort of maximizing best practices throughout the whole hiring process. So we'll have to talk about benefits as part of that as well.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap it up here, I will let Mark reintroduce Shannon and give her contact.
Thanks. So we've been talking with Shannon Zajec with Employer Select Insurance Services, ESIS, but the employersselect.com. Shannon, thanks for being on the show today. It's been great having you. Always good to see you. I think you're very helpful to our listeners. And if anybody has questions, they can definitely look you up or call Katie Wright at 996-784-7800. Okay.
Woo, jeez.
Thank you.
Or you can find us at our websites through CLA Connect. We'll see you next week on Money 105.5 Beyond the Numbers. Have a great week.
My sister just texted me. She said, "You're a natural."